Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we are going to be looking into the past and the dark and creepy secrets of Michael DeSanta in Grand Theft Auto 5. That's right, so I've done videos in the past like this on other characters like Lester Crest, Trevor Phillips, even a few other little characters in the game, and I figured it was time to look at Michael because there's a lot of things that are kind of creepy and mysterious about his past that I think a lot of you guys would be interested in. Now, if you do enjoy these videos or want me to cover another character in the Grand Theft Auto series, be sure to show this video some love and then let me know in the comment section down below who you would like to see. There are plenty of amazing characters in Grand Theft Auto, but if you've got one in particular, let me know in the comment section and I might actually pick that one for the next episode. Okay, so let's get this started. One of the first and weirdest things about Michael, aside from being the oldest protagonist in the Grand Theft Auto series, is we actually don't know his age. So Michael is either 45 or 48. And what's interesting is Trevor Phillips claims to be the same age. So Trevor Phillips is either 48 or 45 as well. Now, on Michael's tombstone in North Yankton, it states that he was born in 1965. And if that's true, that would make him 48 in the year 2013, which is the setting of Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, one of the coroners in the mission Dead Man Walking describes him as being in his late 40s, and Michael refers to himself as the last of the baby boomers, and that was in quotes. Now, if that was true, that would back up his birth year of 1965. However, Trevor, Lester, and his son Jimmy all state that he is 45 years old, meaning that he was born in 1968. So we don't actually know the exact age of Michael DeSanta, and Rockstar has made it extremely unclear how old this character actually is. Now, something else you might not have known about Michael is actually one of the most famous quotes in the game. So Michael uses a quote in the prologue and in the jewel store job: "You forget 1,000 things every day, make sure this is one of them." Now, when I originally played the game, I thought that was just a quote that Michael had stored up, but it actually turns out that that's a movie quote from one of Solomon Richards' movies, Arthur Penny's Santorium. Although the version that Michael states in-game is slightly modified, the original line is, "We forget 1,000 things every day, can't we just make this one of them?" So I thought that that was so cool. I honestly didn't even realize that was from a thing in Grand Theft Auto. I thought that that was just Michael making something up, and that it kind of rolled along with him from the prologue to the jewel store job. So I thought that was extremely cool. Now, something else you might not have known is that Michael Townley, the real name of Michael DeSanta before he went under federal investigation and went into the witness protection program, Michael Townley is a real person. So he is a former CIA operative who was involved in the 1976 assassination of Orlando Letelier. Now, I think I'm pronouncing that last name wrong, but he was a Chilean ambassador. So Michael Townley was an actual criminal. I have no clue if Rockstar wanted to base Michael off of this real-life criminal, but I think there might have been some influence there. And there certainly was probably some influence on the name as well, because that seems like too much of a coincidence for someone to go under federal witness protection, just like Michael did in game. So now I want to talk about 3 interesting facts about Michael's character based off of the real-life voice actor Ned Luke, who did the acting, the voice acting, all the narration for Michael. So there's 3 interesting things that kind of carry over from him that can be seen in Michael in game. So when walking, Michael is slightly slower than both Franklin and Trevor, and this might be due to him being retired and not as active as he used to be. In fact, the voice actor and motion capture performer, like I mentioned, Ned Luke, even gained 25 pounds to replicate this for his role to play Michael. So Ned Luke actually had to gain weight in order to play Michael. I thought that was pretty cool. We also know Michael's signature color in game is blue, and the reason for this is because the favorite color of Ned Luke, Michael's voice actor and motion capture, which he later revealed on a Twitter post, is blue. So I guess Ned Luke had some insight and impact there on, what the color of Michael was going to be, and it turns out that that is his favorite color as well, which is kind of cool. And last but not least, regarding our friend Ned Luke in game, when someone talks to Michael on his right side, he shifts his body towards that person, towards the right. Now, this is interesting, and actually look for this in game, because this is because in real life, Ned Luke, who's again Michael's voice actor, is deaf in his right ear. So when someone's talking to his right, he's going to shift away from that ear so that he can clearly hear that person. And you'll notice that Michael does this in-game as well. So it's little things like that that I just think are extremely cool about Michael's character. Here's another interesting fact you might not know about Michael. He's one of the 6 protagonists in Grand Theft Auto that shares a name with another protagonist. So in this instance, it's Mike from Grand Theft Auto Advance, and he obviously shares his name with Michael from GTA 5. Others in the Grand Theft Auto series are Claude Speed and Claude from Grand Theft Auto 2 and GTA 3, and Johnny Hawthorne and Johnny Klebitz from GTA London and The Lost and the Damned. So that's actually pretty cool. Rockstar kind of reuses those names there for certain protagonists, and Michael is one of the 6 that fit in that build, so I thought that was pretty cool. Michael is also the only protagonist who cannot hang out with Lamar. Now, I actually found out that this was pretty interesting, and the reason that this is the case is because they didn't properly meet each other in-game, and when they do, they only meet briefly. Lamar obviously seems to have a dislike for him based off of what he's kind of doing to Franklin, which is trying to mold him into someone other that just hangs out on the streets of Los Santos, trying to build him up and establish a nice life for him. So that might be why Lamar doesn't exactly love Michael and probably doesn't love hanging out with him all that much. Now, something else you might not know about Michael actually has to do with his very creepy past and how he ended up getting started as a petty criminal in the Grand Theft Auto series. So as a young adult, Michael, we know he becomes a criminal, and he had been in prison twice by the time he was in 20, and he committed his first robbery in the outskirts of Carcer City in 1988. And it stated in-game that he was able to steal $10,000 from a small franchise. Well, Carcer City is a pretty creepy place in and of itself. So it's the setting of Manhunt, which was a game featuring mass murder and vigilante James Earl Cash as its protagonist. Now, Carcer City is a decayed and crime-ridden city close to Liberty City. So it's just kind of interesting that that's where Michael got his start in one of the creepiest, murderous, crime-ridden places ever. So I thought that that was really interesting as well. Another creepy thing about Michael is actually how he met Trevor Phillips. So he met Trevor Phillips in 1993 while he was escorting cargo across the border. So this actually might explain why Trevor in-game has so many ties with trying to get things across the border. That's not really important for this, but essentially he's working with Trevor. They're trying to get some goods across the border, and something goes wrong. Someone tries to get their attention, and what happens is Trevor has to actually kill someone by firing off a flare gun into that man's eye. So I don't know if you guys want to picture that, but I mean, that is like one of the most Trevor Phillips way to go down killing someone ever. However, Michael was then left with the responsibility of getting rid of the body, and they ended up dumping it into a lake. And he describes it as one of the most horrific processes of his entire life. So that's how he met Trevor Phillips, having to clean up after his mess of literally shooting someone with a flare gun in the face. I just thought that was extremely crazy. Now, what's also interesting about Michael is he actually takes a lot after John Marston from Red Dead Redemption. We know John Marston is the protagonist of Red Dead Redemption. There's many things about him that kind of stand out as extremely resembling. So the first of which is Michael's special ability, which could be a reference to Max Payne, but also could be a reference to the Deadeye feature that was featured in Red Dead Redemption, which allowed John Marston to essentially slow down time and more accurately place his shots, which we kind of know, Michael can do in game by slowing down the speed of everyone else. And also, when Michael switches to a different mission, or you switch to him after a certain character, he can be seen walking past a bunch of prostitutes who are asking, I guess, for his business, in which Michael replies, no thanks, I'm a married man, or no pros for me. Now, this is very reminiscent of John Marston, who also replies negatively to any prostitutes in saloons he visited at the time, stating that he's a married man. Now, that might be a giant coincidence, but it is kind of interesting that the protagonists of both those games certainly had the same view when it came to that. Okay, and finally, last but not least today, one of the more creepier things known about Michael was actually his beta name. So in the development of Grand Theft Auto 5, Michael's name was supposed to be Albert De Silva. Now, this may have been a reference to one of the creepiest real-life murderers and stranglers of all time, the Boston Strangler Albert DeSalvo. So again, very, very similar names right there, and this may have persuaded Rockstar to ultimately change his name. They might not have wanted to go too similar to a Boston Strangler. That might not have been the best PR for Grand Theft Auto 5, and maybe there were some other reasons, but obviously, as we know, the name Michael DeSanta was finalized. But anyways, that's all the information and all the creepy, dark, and mysterious secrets of Michael's past that you might not have known about in Grand Theft Auto 5. If I could teach you one new thing that you didn't know about Mr. DeSanta in this video, then I will definitely consider it a success, and hopefully you guys did as well. Once again, in the comment section down below, be sure to let me know who I should cover next. If you enjoy these kind of videos and like these series, be sure to drop the video a like, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.